Good afternoon, my readiness midday TV family. Welcome back to the channel for another news update. And in the news this afternoon, JTA maintains some reservations about the Jamaica Teaching Council Act. President of the Jamaica Teachers Association, Dr. Mark Smith, is expressing reservations about some elements of the new Jamaica Teaching Council Act. Debate on the bill began on Friday in the Senate. Dr. Smith, speaking Sunday with the news, said he was wary of overloading the Teaching Council with too many functions and questioned whether the council will have sufficient budgetary support to carry out its duties. The JTA president also asserted that the Teaching Council fee should not be prohibitive for teachers considering their relatively low salaries compared to some other professions. The bill, if passed, will require teachers to apply for a license within 12 months and aims to enforce continuous professional standards. Teachers not meeting the licensing requirements may not be granted authorization to teach. Debate on the Jamaica Teaching Council Act will continue this week.
We have to be careful. We have 1,000 plus schools in the island, and you don't want to ask the Teaching Council to do too much and end up doing nothing very well. That is one of our concerns we have raised. Will they have the budgetary support to carry out these functions effectively and ensure that justice and fairness continues to be promoted while they carry it out? We want to ensure that the fee is not prohibited. Teaching salaries are way below many other professionals. We have to ensure that whatever the fee structure is, it does not become a source or a challenge for many teachers to be able to afford.
49-year-old government worker arrested for fraud after pension funds go missing. Detectives assigned to the Constabulary Financial Unit of the Counter-Terrorism and Organized Crime Investigations Branch arrested an administrative assistant at a government establishment on Thursday, April 10, following an investigation into alleged fraudulent pension payments. The CFU team visited the establishment at about 10 a.m. and apprehended a 49-year-old woman from a Garvey Mead address in St. Catherine. The investigation revealed that between March 2017 and May 2018, another government body reportedly made 17 payments totaling just over $1 million to the woman's account intended for 3 pensioners. However, the accused withdrew the funds shortly after they were deposited. Investigators later discovered that the pensioners were deceased. Following her arrest, she was transported to the Financial Investigation Division, where she underwent a question-and-answer interview in the presence of her attorney. She was subsequently charged with possession of receiving stolen property and a conspiracy to defraud. Superintendent of Police Victor Barrett of CTOC stated that the police will continue to uncover fraudulent schemes impacting the economy. The issue of fraud continues to have a significant impact on our society, and there has been a greater look beyond just the fraud committed to examine the deleterious psychological and emotional impact on victims. Victims often experience feelings of shame, embarrassment, and a loss of trust. Family members may also be affected, feeling guilty for not protecting their loved ones. Superintendent Barrett further emphasized the shocking nature of this case, adding, "While all cases are serious to us and they stand on their merit, to make a claim on a deceased person is implicitly immoral." The accused was offered bail in the sum of $100,000 and is scheduled to appear in the Kingston and St. Andrew Parish Court on May 29, 2025. The investigation into this matter is ongoing. 32-year-old man arrested after cops seized a firearm during stop and search. 32-year-old Ashley Jones, a laborer of Strathbogie District in Savannah-Lamar, Westmoreland, has been charged after he was reportedly held with a firearm. Reports from the Savannah-Lamar police are that about 10 p.m. on Friday, April 11, lawmen were in the area and they noticed a group of men acting in a manner that aroused the suspicion. The men were approached and searched when the firearm and ammunition were removed from Jones's waistband. He was arrested and subsequently charged with the possession of a prohibited weapon and unauthorized possession of ammunition. His court date is being finalized. Holness won't call election until party is fully ready, says Montague. Jamaica Labour Party Chairman Robert Montague on Sunday urged the party workers to ramp up their mobilization efforts, arguing that Prime Minister and the leader, Dr. Andrew Holness, will not call an election until the party's internal groundwork is complete. Speaking at a constituency conference in St. Catherine East Central, Montague said that as the party prepares for polls, more work needs to be done. Labourites, as we prepare for the third term, a whole heap of people are going up and down, and we want to say, keep calm, because your party is slowly getting ready, he said. We cannot be ready until every PD is ready, until every cluster is ready. So we want every worker to make sure that them complete them canvas, he added. Montague emphasized the need for full mobilization. We want every worker to make sure they have indoor and outdoor agents, runners and supervisors for every PD, he stated. Urging party workers to take ownership of their responsibilities, he added, Andrew Holness cannot be ready for an election until every PD is ready. So if you know your PD is not ready, make sure you go out a morning with your other workers and get your PD ready. Montague also disclosed that the party is still assessing candidates. We are putting candidates in place. We now only have 4 seats left to settle, and therefore, in the meantime, everybody has work to do, he said. He further revealed that a manifesto committee has been formed and praised Senator Shireen Golding's suggestion for a women's health test under the National Health Fund. I will sit with the committee and lend my support to the idea, Montague said. PNP sends condolences to Dominican Republic following nightclub tragedy. The People's National Party is extending condolences to the people and the government of the Dominican Republic following the devastating collapse of a roof at a nightclub in the country that killed more than 200 people. Among the victims was the famed merengue icon Ruby Perez, who was performing at the time of the incident. This heartbreaking event has sent shockwaves throughout the region, and we acknowledge the tireless efforts of Dominican Republic authorities who continue to work around the clock to identify the deceased and provide answers and closure to grieving families, the PNP said on Monday. The PNP stands in solidarity with all those affected by this national tragedy. We extend our prayers and support to the families who have lost their loved ones and to the entire Dominican Republic during this difficult time, the party added. The PNP maintained that it remained ready to offer any assistance possible to help the people of the Dominican Republic during this time of sorrow. Close contest in Westmoreland Western. Dr. Horace Chang, the General Secretary of the Jamaica Labour Party, has declared yesterday's internal selection process in Westmoreland Western as a closer contest. He said a winner has emerged, but the party will not officially reveal the results until sometime today. It's a close election. Somebody won, but we won't declare anything until the full secretariat looks at the ballot tomorrow, Chang told the news following yesterday's internal selection process held at the Little London and the Greengill High Schools in the parish. Garfield James, the councillor for the Sheffield Division, who challenged Moreland Wilson, the incumbent Member of Parliament for Westmoreland Western, claimed that while the preliminary results were outstanding, the results were in his favor after an exciting race. Based on the preliminaries, we are looking good in terms of coming out on top. However, I want to make it clear that we are all members of the same team, hence at the end of the day, respect at the highest level must be given to each and every one, James told reporters last night on the grounds of the Little London High School. At the end, the party's interest is above self, and we must work together in a way that unites us for a bigger picture to ensure that we can retain the constituency for the Jamaica Labour Party, said James, who is also principal of the Little London High School. If James, who crossed the floor of the Westmoreland Municipal Corporation in 2023 to join the JLP, comes out the winner, JLP workers across the constituency would have made a decisive move in Westmoreland Western to replace Wilson with a former PNP councillor as the candidate for the upcoming general election. The internal selection process held on Sunday saw an overwhelming turnout from workers across the 5 municipal divisions, signaling a clear demand for change. Wilson, serving as MP since 2020, has been facing mounting criticism over his leadership, with party insiders citing a disconnect with grassroots supporters. Approximately 600 party workers from 5 divisions in the constituency were expected to cast their ballots to decide between James and Wilson. Guys, thank you for watching. See you this evening at 6 p.m. for another news update.